Pokemon Go, the company behind it, selling the games to another company for $3.5 billion.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's Niantic.
Niantic is selling its games business.
Yeah, Cyan Bannister was an investor in that. So they're selling that. Pokemon Go, for people who don't know, is the first augmented reality game to hit scale. These things were going on in Japan for a long time. Augmented reality, when you put digital assets in the real world through the camera. And you remember people were like driving around trying to find these Pokemon Go characters and getting in car accidents.
It had that huge pop culture moment. I mean, Hillary telling people Pokemon go to the polls. It was like a big deal. I, in my mind, think of it as being like it fell off and it's not a big deal anymore. But that's not actually true. It still has a huge fan base of people that remain obsessed with playing it and are still driving around looking for Pokemon. It's just like it stopped being a headline, but it remains like a huge mobile hit.
Who bought it?
Scopely.
Okay.
Which, what's that? Well, it's owned by Savvy Games Group. What's that? It's the Saudi PIF.
The investment fund in Saudi. This is their sovereign wealth fund, which owns everything from sports teams to doing the investments in Neom. I think it's sort of the umbrella. It's run by a gentleman named Yasser, who I met when I was there. They have a group, Sanabel, that does the venture stuff. So they have a dozen activities they are investing in that they believe will be the businesses of the future when maybe pulling oil out of the ground isn't necessary, right?
Yeah.
Or, it runs out, which they think is a 30-year story, 40-year story. And games would be one of those. And so remember I said earlier, this is not dumb money. There is a perception in our industry that the money coming out of the MENA region is like dumb money. They'll just invest in anything. You go there, you secure a bag, you leave. Au contraire, mon frère. These are some of the smartest people I've ever met in business. For decades, they've been sending people from Abu Dhabi, from Saudi, from Qatar to the West to become educated and to work in places, and then they come back. So they're boomerangs, and they have this King Abdullah scholarship. There's all these scholarships. And when I meet people over there, Oxford, Harvard, University of Hawaii, everything in between. Like literally, it's not just Ivy League schools. And then they've worked at Google, at Sequoia, wherever, top venture firms. And then they've gone back. They're not just putting money into venture firms. They're on the boards of companies. They're doing company formation. They're doing roll-ups like this. And they can take a 20, 30-year view because of the sovereign wealth funds. They can take a 20 or 30-year view of investing. So they're not just giving money to Masayoshi Son like they did for his, giant fund. They're now making thoughtful decisions and rolling up companies. That's what we're seeing here. That's what we're going to see a lot more of.
Mobile gaming is huge. And I really got to agree with Jason. I am a bit more critical of MENA governments than some folks in this space. But hey, what I will say here is this is smart. This is buying a serious company, doing a serious roll-up. I have to say, if you're going to diversify off of, digging stuff out of the ground, great place to do it, great use of money, no complaints.
It's a brave new world, folks. We are not living in a unipolar or a bipolar world where it was like Russia and the US. It's multipolar now. And that's, a lot of, I think, what's informing this administration, whether you like it or not, whether you agree with it or not, we all understand it's multipolar now. There are regions that have their own sovereignty, and the EU now, as you pointed out, Alex, I think very correctly, is like, you know what? The United States is not the piggy bank. They're not going to fund what we want to do. We have our own world. We'll do what we want to do. Canada's like, oh, you guys want to neg us? Great. We have a lot of hydro. We'll just turn off your electricity. We'll sell it to somebody else. Like, I think the United States sometimes believes we have a little bit more influence than we actually do, and that people, will just do whatever we tell them. They will not.